Hello everybody, this is Toysareruss, and for this new figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the Fans Hobby MB23 Destroyer figure. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to have a look at all the accessories that come with him, show you how you can use them. We'll do some comparisons with his original G1 toy, which I'll explain a little bit more about in a minute. We can also see how he looks and fares against some other mainline masterpiece figures, and indeed some other figures as well that I've got just dotted about. So before we get started, I need to thank Showzy Store. That's who sent me this, and as you can see, they got it to me nice, quickly, and indeed safely. So what we have in front of us is, to be fair, this is a great figure, but what I want to do is show you the packaging first and foremost. So this is Fans Hobby. This is my first experience with this third-party company, and they make masterpiece scale figures, or that's what this is. And to be fair, they've got some great figures out there. They seem to be focusing a little bit on the Super God Master Force toy line at the moment, which was the Japanese only cartoon that was released in Japan in 1988. So this is basically their version of Buster, which was a redeco, of course, of the Hasbro figure that came out in the same year. But you can see here on the packaging, there are some of the other figures. Now, all their figure product numbers are MB then something. There is Destroyer, and that's combined. That is, of course, exactly the same combination as Darkwing's. However, the other jet isn't out yet. So we've got the fighter mode there. There's the Power Pilot that was known in Japan as a Godmaster. For Hasbro, he was known as a Power Master. But again, I'm probably going to be referring to him as a Godmaster because that's what he was in Japan. Now, we've got these little bits here, which I'm probably not going to connect, to be fair, because I don't have the fixed stand. But as you can see here, this box is absolutely beautiful. It looks lovely. It's nice and sheeny. Everything was packed really nice inside. You've got the lovely product on the front and indeed on the sides. With regards to the rest of the packaging, you've got these guns. Now, the only things I'm going to say a bit negative about this is these just feel really hollow, really sort of light, like there's nothing really there. But the figure itself, which you're going to see in a second, is stupendous. Right, let's stand him there so he doesn't fall over. You come with the instructions, which is a great big booklet like that, and you get the stickers, and of course you get a collector's card. So let's have a look at the figure then. And as I say, this is like a masterpiece scale size, but it's not an official Takara. So here's a Takara masterpiece jet, funnily enough, and as you can see, he's actually towering way above your standard Seeker. He's huge. This is a, I suppose, standard train bot, a masterpiece train bot, and again, he's a good 2 inches bigger than that figure. This is a really big masterpiece scale size figure, and again, looks great. Let's have a look. And there's hot his kibbles all on the back, whereas the Seekers obviously is all the ones that fold up a little bit better. It's perhaps the only negative thing that I will say about this figure, and you can click this on a little bit better. I'm going to show you that in a second. But with regards to the actual figure, I'm definitely going to have to adjust this camera because he's just too big. So the head sculpt itself is lovely. Look at that. I thought that there was going to be light piping by the picture, but there's nothing on the back. But the head sculpt is lovely. The eyes do sort of reflect when the light catches on it. It's got full articulation all the way around. It looks up and down, no issues whatsoever. The arms will go, you can hear on ratchets, you can actually lift these parts out. They're a bit like hip skirts, but they're for the shoulders. So you've got all this range of motion. You can hear them clicking away, which is really kind of nice. And of course, you can put it down and you can spin this around as long as it's not catching the back wing, which, to be honest, it very rarely does. So you've got a load of articulation in there. You've also got the swivel. Let me bring this down. Let me just hold on to this and show you. You've got the swivel underneath the shoulder. You've got bicep flexion. You've got, this shouldn't move as much. This is for transformation. That's the revealing the rest of the arm. The wrist, though, will spin around, and you can see you've got articulated thumb. And how many of the fingers are articulated? Is it all of them? All of them, all of the fingers you can see there are articulated. I'm sorry this isn't standing up too well. I'm just hanging him over literally the camera because he's just too big. You've got a waist swivel, which is a little restricted, but it's more realistic. You know, if he twisted any more, he'd be snapping himself in two. The detail on the cockpit there as well is brilliant. I want to just have a quick look at that. And the red, the colours on these are just popping. It is absolutely stunning. So same with the front, you've got these hip skirts. Oh, you don't want to see that. We're going to bring this all the way up So you get full 90 degrees, but you can tilt it far back with the other leg leaning back as well. You are restricted with the backward movements. This is the only negative, as I say. This is just quite a bit of kibble. I'm not too sure if you can fold it up any better than this, to be honest. It's just, but it's not noticeable. That's the best thing about it. When it's like this, you don't even notice it. You don't notice it at all. It's so clever. Right, you can also, if I move the arms out of the way, you can also take them right out to the side. Again, you can hear the nice tight ratchets on it. You've got a swivel at the top of the hip. You've got a knee bend again on ratchets, and you've got an ankle tilt and rock as well. So a highly articulated figure, again, which you would expect with it being a masterpiece scale figure. And the guns you can fold in and fold out like so. So we can just slot these into his hands. Oh, I've not even opened his fist yet. I've just took him out of the packaging, and I've gone with the robot mode to start with, just because I thought I'd do it slightly differently, to be honest, because he does come packed in the jet, or packaged in the jet, shall we say. But I just thought for the video I'd start with the robot, just because it's perhaps that little bit more impressive, if we're being honest. And of course I've got a few more comparisons to show you whilst doing that. Let's fold these fingers over and put them there. It does go. I'm just going to stand him up. I'm probably going to have to adjust the camera again now. Oh, I didn't push that in far enough. Actually, it slots down there, doesn't it? You see, I'm learning this the same as you guys. This is my first experience. That's way better. It slots into the hand. Now, this again, just I suppose, clarifies that when I say this, I genuinely mean it. I don't watch anybody else's reviews on any of the figures, purely because I want these to be my own first impressions. I want them to be my opinions rather than taking them from someone else. And yeah, I didn't realize it did that. And as I've already said, this is my first experience with a Fans Hobby figure. But as I say, here comes the original. This is quite a rare figure, to be honest. That's probably why you might not have seen him or know much about him. His name is Buster in the Japanese cartoon, and actually his name is Buster. That's just a transector, but I suppose that's a whole other video. Here are the two Godmasters. You can see the size difference there. He's got the beak on there. That's so exactly like the cartoon, to be honest. You can sort of make it out in the original, but of course it's not painted. And I love the fact we've got the chrome on the back as well. And to be honest, the transformation process is exactly the same. It's just more articulate. You've actually got shoulder rotation, you've got a bicep flexion, you've got the hips which spin all the way around. And do you have a knee? Yes, you do have a knee bend. So of course, if you wanted to transform it, it would just be a case. Let me have a look at this, work it out. There we go. That's obviously going to tab into here like so. Very much like that. You'll obviously forgive me for not doing it with the original. So the hand is going to hide into thigh, top of the thigh like so, and click that in. We'll see that in a little bit more detail on the next part of the video, but again, forgive me for not transforming the original. They are very prone to damage. So I know this isn't the same scale, but I know a lot of people do collect third party, and you're probably going to be collecting third party if you're watching this video. So there are the legend scale figures: Magic Square, Iron Factory, and indeed New Age. So you can see it's huge. It really is a genuine, as I say, sized masterpiece figure. And I've got Trailbreaker ready for the alternate mode, and to give you an idea, this is a big figure. It really is, and it looks very good. I don't think there's much more, in honesty, to tell you about this. As I said, I've mentioned that before. It is the only negative. That's the only negative that I found. It looks good. He's got full articulation. You can move these hips out. You can put him in really sort of dynamic poses. I am useless at that, so I'm not going to attempt and embarrass myself in doing it. I think one last quick look at the head sculpt. Lovely. And we're going to come back and have a look at him in his alternate mode and see how he displays there as well. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process in this video. The main reason for that is to keep the main length of the video down, and the second is not to spoil it for people who are thinking of buying this and don't want it spoiling for them. However, you will have noticed I've uploaded a tutorial, so if you wanted to see it, you've got the opportunity if you would like to. So there's a few things that I just want to sort of point out straight away. When you get this is how he comes in the box. So you would need to pull out the booster to have it fully extended, but I've already brought out the landing gear at the front. Now the reason for this is probably, I don't know if it's just my copy or if it's a problem. Now the way you get the landing gear is you just slide this whole section back, but with mine's just seems to be just a little bit loose here, so you can see, and I think it's because there's a tiny little stress mark in that there on the plastic, but it's not too detrimental. So what would happen is this would be folded out all the way out, the landing gear would be down and tucked in there, as you can see. But I'm just going to bring it out for the rest of this video. What you've got to do is not just pull there, you've got to extend all the way out to give you enough range of motion to pull it out and then stand it up. So I wanted to start that bit there for you just to give you an idea, so just be aware of that. And then the other landing gear parts should be inside here. Yep, there they are. So these will just fold all the way out like that, and then as you can see, that rolls backwards and forwards beautifully, no issues whatsoever with that. And again, this is a giant jet, it really is huge. There is Masterpiece Trailbreaker, it's two of him in this particular jet mode. It looks stunning. The colours are just popping at the moment. There's not even any stickers on it. With regards to the Godmaster, there he is, of course, transformed. There's a couple of things that you can do with this. You can open this up and you can take it off completely if you want to. Just depends how you want to display. It fits in as easy as that, or you can collapse it over. Oh, I did have it working 2 seconds ago. You can sort of collapse it over if you wanted to, or you can take it completely off. It looks like in the pictures that they do take it completely off, and you would just take it off there. I'm not going to do that. That just gives you an idea there of exactly what it looks like anyway. So I'm just going to take him out for now. You can just see where the tabs there fit into the 2 tabs there. Talking of tabs, if we turn this underneath, you can see on the underside of the wings, what we've got here is these are just going to tab in like so, and then this really does power up this jet mode and indeed make it look that little bit more formidable. I mean, look at that. This is a beautiful, beautiful figure. My first experience of fans toys, and I'm completely blown away, in all honesty. With regards to some mainline figures, there's a core class Optimus Prime. There's a deluxe, sorry, not deluxe, yeah, deluxe animated Prowl. It's just a huge, huge figure. Let's have a look at the actual details on it though. So it all does, I just got to kick that in, it does fit together really well. The transformation process is actually very similar to his brother G1 figure, to be honest, with the way that the legs and everything swivel around. It's a great homage to it. These move as well if you want to, of course, just lift them about. Other things to be aware of as well when you're taking out the packaging, you can pretty much guarantee that these, there you go, them 2 tabs there will not be tabbed in on the underside, and they can sometimes pop out, but it's not too detrimental. And you can also see that, of course, that is where the fists were nicely hidden. Overall though, again, really impressed with this. There's not much more to say about it. I don't want to rattle on about things that I don't think that, I think there's nothing else that you need to know, to be honest. The wings, as you can see, move around. These are completely fused on. As I say, the color scheme just works incredibly well. And as far as I suppose, as I say, Masterpiece jets go, this is definitely up there as probably one of the best I've seen, including, I say, official figures and not official figures. There's nothing in there like you do with sometimes on the Hasbro. That just is for the transformation process. And as I say, the booster part does come out as well. I think that's it. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, these are the fixed attachments, but I haven't got them, and these would just fit on the underside here. Let me just quickly show you on the box. I'm not going to show you because I haven't got them, so there's no point if I attach that there. It's fully in, there's loads of pictures in the instructions. Anyway, I am looking forward to getting the other one anyhow, is the brother in the cartoon, so we can combine them together. Let me know what you think of this guy in the comments. Huge thank you to Adam Graham, because this is his, and that's the reason I'm able to review it for you. So thank you once again, guys, and of course you can get this from Show Z. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. Take care.